When you look at your businesses, how far ahead are you? How far are you ahead of the curve? How many moves ahead do you think?
You know, it's funny because I always tell my guys that if they ever bring me something and they're like, oh, this is a hot market, I tell them no right away before I even listen to it. Because if it's a hot market now, we're already behind in the race, you know? So there's no point in getting into it. Right? Like, so the ideas that I like are the ones that are 5 years ahead. Because typically it takes us 1 or 2 years to get traction, and then there's maybe 1 year that you have to kind of struggle and wait for the market to come to you. And then by year 3, all of a sudden, you have the whole game plan, you have the perfect recipe to bake the cookies, and then you could really take advantage of that. And I mean, there's companies that we've done. I mean, Nick's here, Nick knows, we did a company 6 years ago that we wanted to supply customers with private jets, private aviation, and we wanted to do it through your iPhone on an app, and just basically have it that you push buttons and you don't have to talk to anybody. Well, when we came up with the idea, no one took us serious. You know, people basically laughed at us. My family laughed at us, my associates laughed at us, my friends laughed at us. So it was a challenge from that standpoint, but we truly believe that we're going to take an inefficient system and make it more efficient, and then eventually customers will embrace it. And then fortunate for us, back in December this year, we got a valuation of $1.6 billion, which was pretty crazy because we started at Starbucks in Boca Raton on Yamato on a napkin, and we were just trying to piece it together, and it was just like a imaginary type thing that we had in our head, and then to see it grow that much into something like that was just amazing.
So when you looked at that deal for the first time, what was your aha moment? You looked at it and said, this is going to work.
It took me like 2 seconds. I mean, it was so easy because when they walked me through what steps you had to take to charter a private jet and how onerous it was and how much back and forth communication you needed and how much was involved. And, I mean, it was like such a long drawn-out process. And then they showed me a solution to that, which was a couple of clicks on a button on an iPhone where you could see the actual plane, see the safety certificate, see all those things. I'm like, how's anyone gonna be able to ever compete against us? It's gonna be impossible. So that's when I knew that we had something special. When you have that competitive advantage, you have something that's disruptive, that's gonna mess it up for everybody else in that industry, that's where you should go your energies behind.
Good. Now you've worn many hats. Bouncer.
Grave digger.
VC, you're a VC?
Yeah.
So you've done a couple things.
Yeah, we were fortunate. We've got a lot of experiences. I mean, I can tell the VC story. We were doing the venture capital stuff back in the late 90s when the tech bubble was going crazy. And I couldn't believe it because I've always had to work really hard in life and build it brick by brick and, you know, kind of like an old school way. And I came to this company in Boca Raton, and everybody was like millionaires. Like everybody walked around the office like they were already rich. It was like unbelievable. Like the secretaries, the girl in the front desk. I mean, everybody was a millionaire. I was like, wow, how did this company do this? This is amazing. Like the girl's answering the phone, she's a millionaire. This one's a millionaire. You know, so I was blown away. And they're like, no, we get this thing. It's called stock options. So I'm like, wow, tell me about this. So they're like, yeah, you get options for working here. Then the company goes public, and then we all become millionaires, and everything's great. So I was like, wow, you don't even have to really work that hard. No, we don't have to really work that hard. It's perfect. You know? So I was like, man, what a sucker I've been all these years. I'm taking names, I'm fighting, and like, I could just came here, you know, it'd been great, you know? So time goes on, and all of a sudden the company goes out of business. And everybody's in the cafeteria and they're crying and they're all upset and they're like, I had 9 million at one time and I had 8 million, and you know, they're talking about all their millions. And I was like, wow, you guys don't realize what just happened. And they're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, this is the greatest experience you could have ever had. And they're looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, we had 33 companies go out of business, we raised $91 million, and all that money's gone. And I'm like, no, you guys aren't seeing this. You got to see the mistakes of 31 different companies in such a short time frame that you can never replicate that. So basically, I got to see 31,000 mistakes over a short period of time. So when it came time to leave and do my own thing, I knew so many mistakes that these other companies made that I was like, oh no, I know not to take a left because I know it's a dead end street, so I'm just going to go to the right. And no one really recognized that. And to me, that was one of the greatest educations I could have had because it was such a real world experience, seeing these companies have missteps, spend money on foolish things, make bad judgment calls, make errors. And I took all that knowledge and then applied it to my stuff. When we were doing our businesses, I didn't always know what was going to go right, but I knew exactly what was going to go wrong. So that was a big game changer.
Well, you've been motivated since the start. What's the secret? How do you keep going?
I just wanted to eat food, to be honest with you. I mean, I was just starving from a young kid. I was always big, and you know, my mother used to make like macaroni every night, and I just couldn't take it. You know, I was just like, this just has to be a better way here. You know, and I was like, if I could ever get enough money to go to McDonald's, and I could get one of those little toys that come with the Happy Meals, and like that'd be so cool. And I remember one time I was living in Boston, and they were filming a movie, and I was a young kid, and they interviewed me, and they asked me, you know, what was your dream in life, and when you get older, and everybody said, oh, you don't want to be a movie star, I want to be a fireman, I want to be a policeman, you know, whatever. And they came to me, and I'm like, I just want to be able to go out to dinner. You know, that was like the big thing, you know. And now, you know, my beautiful wife, you know, she's such a great cook, but we do go to dinner every night. So fortunate for me, we accomplished that goal, and we're very proud of that. If you ever come to our house, there's no food in the fridge, so don't make yourself at home because there's nothing there. But it was a great experience, you know.
Wow. So what's next for?
I mean, right now, you know, we were talking about it earlier that you know, I'm really engaged with artificial intelligence. I think that it's going to be a very disruptive technology in a lot of different industries, so I want to get in on it. I don't think it's mainstream just yet. You know, some people talking about it, but no one really knows what it is, so that's a good sign for me. And then we're building a lot of communication bots with it, where we could have the computers actually interact with humans, and the humans don't know that they're not talking to a human person. A lot of times they think talking to a girl or a guy or you know, whatever. So that I'm fascinated with. And then also in social media, it's just amazing because like some of the people here are from so diverse backgrounds, different countries, and you know, we meet on LinkedIn or we meet on Instagram and things like that. That's such an incredible tool that businesses aren't fully using, where they could develop their own exclusive distribution channel to sell products directly to the consumer without any intermediary at no cost. That I think that's going to be such a disruptive technology once it comes to the forefront, that companies that aren't engulfed in that are really going to fall behind and probably close up.
Now, I met you through your branding. I consider you the king of branding. Right? Anyone ever follow him on LinkedIn? Follow him on LinkedIn. He is the king of branding. Right?
We try.
Creates the most activity, the most buzz, and he keeps himself relevant and out there. Tell me, what motivated you to do that?
You know, that started on accident, really. You know, where we were just, someone asked me to, you know, make some post, and I did. And when I did the initial post, I thought I put together the best post ever. It was like scientific and had facts and data, like, you know, it was just so well done and so elaborate. And then no one liked it. Like, not a single person. No one commented, no one liked it. So I was like, wow, I guess I'm not so good at this. And I was like frustrated because I was like, man, I hate like losing. I hate not being great at something, you know? So like, I gotta figure out an angle on how to do this, you know? And what I realized is, you know, I could post a picture of you know, a 20-year-old, you know, Toyota Corolla and have a nice caption, or I could post a picture of the newest Ferrari that no one's ever seen, and people are gonna gravitate towards the newest Ferrari. And when they gravitate toward that, they're gonna listen to my message. So that means I'm going to be able to get through to more people. I'm going to be able to impact more people, motivate more people, and lift up more people. So once I learned that, and I learned kind of the strategy and psychology behind it, we started implementing that with everything to help people. And at first, I was like, wow, this is overwhelming. I'm getting 400 emails a day. I'm getting emails. I'm getting questions. I mean, let me just shut this down. You know, it was a fun experiment. You know, I mastered it. I became, you know, the champion. But you know, it's not materialized from a time standpoint. So I was right about ready to shut it down, and then I got this email from this person, and it was such a touching email that, you know, she was so motivated by me every day posting things and how it made such a big difference in her life, and she wanted to commit suicide and she wanted to give up, but she kept going, and that would really kind of turn the corner, just seeing how much you could inspire people from all over the world, from different countries, from different backgrounds. It's amazing the friends that I've made and the people that I'm able to communicate with just through that. So I said, this is such a special thing that we just have to keep doing this, because we're making such a big impact on individual lives. And that's why I take a lot of pride in doing it, and I try to give back that way and try to inspire and try to get people excited and tell them my story about how hard things were for me and how much adversity I had to go through, and tell them that if you keep pushing forward, you know, good things will happen.
Wow. Great. So, the companies that you invest in,
Right.
Let's go back to your VC vision.
Right.
What kind of things were you looking for
I mean, right now, it's funny because I get asked this all the time, and we've invested in such a diverse range of companies that I tell everyone, there's basically 5 golden rules, and they're on LinkedIn. You could read them, and they're pretty simple. And I tell anyone, if you could answer yes to these 5 golden rules, I'll invest in your company. So it's a pretty simple formula on the surface. It's just the difficult formula to basically achieve. And the main questions have to do with, number one, do you have a sustainable competitive advantage in your business? And a lot of people get confused on that. A lot of people will email me and be like, oh, I'm the hardest worker and I'll work harder than anybody else. And I try to explain to them that that's not a sustainable competitive advantage. That's a nice character trait, but that's not going to be able to sustain you to be able to compete with people on a higher level. And then basically what it is if you have a patent, or if you have a technology, or you have something where no one else in that field could compete with you on a level playing field, then you have something that's a competitive advantage. And we always look for that in any business, no matter what it is. So that's the number one. If you don't have that number one, you're gonna have a difficult time. Then number two is, are there barriers to entry into what you're doing? Because there's always gonna be someone with more money, richer than you, that could see your idea and then just inject capital into it and basically take you out. So if there's no barriers to entry, most likely you're gonna have a difficult time. The third one is, do you have something that's a product or a service that's gonna be disruptive in your vertical? Meaning, is it gonna mess things up for other people that are already working in it? If it's not, then it's gonna be hard because you're gonna be competing on a level playing field. People are gonna be doing it for longer than you, they're gonna have more expertise, so you're gonna be always at a disadvantage. So you always wanna come up with a product or service that's disruptive, that's gonna make people say, whoa, wait a second, what is this guy here doing? Like, this is not so good, we gotta be careful about this. And then fourth, I tell people all the time, I learned it from the restaurant business. I used to own restaurants when I was young, and I always wanted to have a busy restaurant, And then finally I got to the point where every seat in my restaurant, every night, it was packed. Like, there wasn't one seat that you could get. Even if you came in and wanted to pay me more, I didn't have enough chairs. And I realized that you want to go into a business that's scalable. So no matter how many people that want your product or service, you want to be able to supply it to them, not just in the US, but around the world. Ideally is what you want to do. So you have to have a scalable business, and then you have to be in an industry where you can have a liquidity event, where you can have a sale. There's a lot of people I know, they'll own businesses,